Earth is crying. They say it's because of global warming, and I don't believe it. Fake news. How could the globe be warming when I just had frost on my window this morning? Allegedly, my driver told me before he warmed up the car. I don't do that. They say climate change is happening all around us. The weather seems fine to me. And then other people are saying, Donald, there's a difference between climate and weather. You're splitting hairs here. What difference does it make? You're saying that the ocean is warmer. Okay, hot tubs for everybody. Hot tubs for the poor. I'm providing. When I'm president, I'll make the ocean so warm that everyone can get inside of it and not have to use a towel afterwards because they'll be so warm. Congratulations. You're welcome. Do you think Sleepy Joe would do that? Do you think Kamala would do that? I don't think so. They're a little busy trying to solve the problem. Let's clean up the earth. Let's fix the environment. The environment seems fine to me. The only thing that seems wrong is that I'm not president. I should be president by now. You guys need to understand that they're going to try to tell you all kinds of things about the earth, about the environment, how we need to use less and conserve energy. That's not how we do it. Because how do we do it? You know what to say, Big League. They say if we don't change our habits, the natural disasters are going to keep getting worse. And I think I'll probably be by then. Honestly, I probably won't still be alive. I'm already 78 years old. I only plan to live to be maybe 190, maybe 192. That's it. That's all I want to do. And then I'll be out of here. I'll be out of your hair. Guys who worry about the future of the planet are losers. You should be thinking about right now. You should be thinking about yourself. Why are you worrying about your kids? You're not even going to know them because you'll be gone. And then you can bury your loved ones. You can bury your loved ones on your land and you don't have to pay taxes for it. I did that with my ex-wife and I've never liked her so much. She's a good girl. I like her. Especially now.
Hear the train a-comin'. It's rolling around the bend. And I ain't seen the sunshine. I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on. But that train keeps a-rolling. All down to San Antonio. All down to San Antonio. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy. Don't ever play with guns.
Popular loners are chosen ones because when you start to think and move at a high vibrational frequency, you castigate everything that's low vibrational, which puts you in alignment to being by yourself. And the primary reason why popular loners are always by themselves is because we came to the conclusion that the vast majority of people on the planet are compromised mentally, spiritually, and vibrationally. See, when you've chosen, everything in your life is predicated upon peace. So we don't have the time to be putting ourselves around people who's going to extract our energy, asking us for money, asking us for advice that they don't want to take, asking us for favors, because it's going to put our energy at a low vibrational state. And this is why popular loners and chosen ones, we take ourselves on dates. We go to the movies by ourselves. We go out to eat by ourselves. We go on walks by ourselves. The reason we have the mental and spiritual fortitude to do so is because we're at peace with ourselves. And when you look at everything holistically and full spectrum, you will come to the conclusion that most people are spiritually broken and mentally fractured, meaning that they're operating from a place of chaos. And if you want to maintain your peace and cultivate that energy of balancement to where you have order, you cannot put yourself around people who is out of order.
Let me get 2 quick pics in the...
Darnell, that's you? boy, look at you, boy, looking like...
2024 is the symbology of karmic retribution, as you have the restoration of power that's projected to the chosen ones. If you were being deceitful towards chosen ones, you finna get your karma. If you were disrupting the peace of a chosen one by causing chaos, you finna get your karma. If you was being intrusively combative towards a chosen one, you finna get your karma. If you was capitalizing off the energy of a chosen one, you finna get your karma. Because the planet is going through a transitional shift, a reset by way of metamorphosis, to where energy expands and returns to itself in the name of karmic retribution. And now that we're going through a transitional reset, this is where celebrities lose power, politicians lose power, toxic family members, co-workers, ex-boyfriends and girlfriends, they all lose power. So with that being said, the timeline that we're currently on is predicated upon the chosen ones, who are the real heroes, the real true speakers, the real healers, the ones that speak truth to power to basically reverse the polarity of the deceitful ones who was in control in the old timeline. So everything is based upon the chosen ones because we possess an energy that's based in authenticity, that's in alignment with source.
Stop scrolling, man. This right here done got serious with Jaguar Wright and Jay-Z now. Don't y'all know that Jay-Z now killed that woman's son? And that's the reason she goes so hard. I'm finna play the video for y'all, man. Hey, man, drop your comments. Y'all know how we do it. But she gonna tell you everything in this video. She ain't been lying yet. She ain't been wrong yet. I ain't roll that clip.
My son died because he was my son.
He died because of
He
your
was targeted because he's my son.
He
was working on his EP. I bought Philadelphia for him so he didn't have to sign to a company because I knew what it was going to do. He interned at Rock Nation. And they approached him to sacrifice me. I saw his death when he was 19. I moved us here to stop it, to prevent it, to avoid it. They take them anyway to show you what the harm is. Giovanni, his death is why I do what I do.
With my name.
Let's go right on in.
Nigga, when my name come up, respect it.
Let's go.
Stop playing with my fucking name. All three of y'all. Stop playing.
Highly spiritual women are single because they understand the metaphysical essence of the transmutation of energy and alchemy. And the primary reason why it's so hard for them to date and be in relationships is because they harness an energy that requires a man to have supreme masculinity, because only a weak man will only demonize and subjugate her spiritual gifts. Now, when you study historical context in ancient history, the king might have had 10, 20, 10, 8 wives, but the one that he loved the most was the witch, the healer, the one who had the spiritual gifts. And the reason that is because you cannot be a king until you have a divine feminine energy on your team. And the thing is that a lot of weak niggas, they run away from highly spiritual women because he has the energetic power of intuitiveness. She's going to see things right before it happens because she has the frequency of premonitions. She's going to see certain things in her dreams because she's an oracle. And because they have an energetic connection to source, it's hard for them to be in relationships. So she's going to know you're not shit before you even step into her cipher. So this is why it's so hard for them to be in relationships, because they can see beyond the illusion. So they just rather be alone.
Take our focus off of the tropics. The West Coast has a strong storm building up. California, Washington, Oregon. Welcoming a true fall season to the West Coast of America. Say goodbye to the heat until next year.
Meditation, by the way. Meditation had nothing to do with relaxation or breathing or any of that originally. These things were added later on. The original concept of meditation was for you to die every night. So when your death actually came, you never died. In fact, the Islamic poet Rumi once said, "Die before you die, So when you die, you don't die. Again, die before you die. So when you die, you don't die. Ancient knowledge on that. Because what it's saying basically is, if I have an eye that can see without these eyes, ears that can hear without the ear, mouth that can... Shouldn't I be more concerned about that person than this person? My inner voice is more powerful because that's the immortal me. That inner voice does not go away when the outer voice stops. When the outer eyes stop seeing, the inner eyes continue to see. When the outer ear no longer hears, the inner ear continues to hear. Neurologists, there was a study, I saw this study the other day. Neurologists are now baffled because they've reached a climax of reports where people who were clinically brain dead, they were operating on these people and killed them. They were operating on these people and they died on the table. These people who they was operating on, brain died while they were being operated on. Vegetable, basically, in a coma, brain dead, okay? They revived them. And the person comes back. And it says, I saw everything that was going on. I remember everything y'all were doing. Tells you verbatim. You said this, you said that. You was over there crying. You ran up the block to go get something. You told her this. There are now thousands of cases. Neurologists don't even know what to do with this data because what they're saying is that they thought memory was in the brain. But they said when the brain is dead, people still remember. Memory is not in the brain, it's in the soul.
DNA results changed. Like 23andMe, after the whole board quit, my DNA results have changed. So when I got my results, it was told that I was 83% African and 17% European. And so the type of European I was like 5% German, 6% Irish, and the rest like from England and French and some other shit. So I had a few cousins also. 23andMe tells you the relatives you have on the app. So I had a cousin in Ireland, I had a few cousins in Germany that I reached out to. Deadass, I got a white cousin in Finland, like, had a cousin in Sri Lanka, India. I go check my DNA results today. Just, you know, I like to look up my ancestry all the time just to see if I got like any new cousins that popped up. And all my cousins is gone. Dead ass. Like, I'm not German anymore. I'm not Irish anymore. I'm not Indian anymore, from Sri Lanka. Like, they're like the different parts of African in me has changed. Like, the results have completely changed. Like, and I don't know how that's possible. The only thing that stood out to me is the fact that the board of directors for 23andMe just quit because they're going private. And I don't know if going private means they're playing with people's DNA, but it's very odd that those cousins are now not my cousins anymore. Like, what's really happening? What's really going on?
Found out Medusa had hair like me, and they weren't snakes. It all made sense as to why they have demonized our hair for so long. What they don't want you to know is the figure that they demonized in Greek mythology is actually Naga Kanya. It is a powerful Naga goddess. I broke down in a few other videos the Naga serpent, which leads back to people who look like me. Took her story and flipped it and made her to be something to be feared because they couldn't handle her. Power was too much for them. Snakes on her head aren't just some monster imagery. Those snakes represent her 9 ether energy, aka her locks. Her locks could literally move at will when her kundalini was activated. Medusa's energy was so strong, she used her locks to battle any evil force in the cosmos. But instead of honoring her power, guess what they did? Just like they do with everything else. They demonized her. Kind of like most people do today with things like witchcraft, hoodoo, anything that was used within our culture that was able to defeat them. They label it demonic and we let them. If you don't know, the Naga gods are a powerful extraterrestrial race. Some half serpent, half human. Others with just serpent features, and they come from the Sirius star system. Sirius star system is deeply connected to ancient wisdom and knowledge, as well as spiritual energy. I'm shining so bright. Look at this ray just shooting through my car like this. If you don't know by now, what you see in Greek mythology are just bits and pieces of our story. Real stories mixed with lies to hide the truth. Choosing ancient stories can be found in all corners of the world. Seen in Greek mythology when they cut off Medusa's head was symbolic. It was about stripping the Naga, aka us, from our roots, from our very essence. It made us forget who we are and where we come from. Took away our knowledge of self and spiritual power. But to be honest, we let them. The gag is Medusa is still alive because she's an immortal goddess. She's a being of immense power. Because we're all energy and energy never dies, she's still here. It's like the ancient Naga exist in the cosmos. These beings just waiting for us to remember who we are. Why do y'all think they've demonized locks and natural hair so much? Do you know how weird that is to tell somebody they can't wear something that grows naturally out of their scalp? These locks are not just a hairstyle. They're deeply connected to our roots, our spiritual power. The way locks naturally spiral mirror the coils in the galaxy. Our ancestors understood that our hair is an antenna, connects us to higher realms and the universe. I especially know this to be true because I've told y'all I've always been tapped in, but when I got locks, well, y'all see the end result of that, right? Downloads be downloaded. That's why locks especially represent 9 ether, the highest form of energy flowing through our carbon-rich hair. Because yes, we are full of carbon. 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. This represent our kundalini energy, our life force, and they don't want us tapping into that. Trying to get us to cut, straighten, or even sometimes cover up our natural hair, strip us of our essence, just like they cut Medusa's head off to strip her of her power. Truth is, locks are a form of resistance. When we wear our hair in a natural state, we rejecting the system that tried to strip us from our power. Because we are our ancestors, we connecting back with the Naga's ancient wisdom through our hair. It's our symbol of freedom and divine energy. Like Medusa's hair moved with her will, your hair carries that same untamed cosmic energy. You already know, they demonize what they fear they can't control. Medusa's locks were feared because they represented her true cosmic power. So just like Medusa was truly never unalived, our power is still very much alive. You gotta take your power back, reclaim it. But you can't do that if you embracing everything outside of you. We are remembering who we are, and that's what they fear the most. So keep rising, y'all. Peace, love, and light, and gratitude for watching.
People, bring y'all's asses over to fan base. Why am I just recently finding out about a black-owned app? Why am I just finding out about a black-owned social media app that we have? And why are you motherfuckers on fan base not screaming and yelling about it? Why are we so quiet? Anybody that follow me on TikTok, bring your ass to fan base. You can go over to YouTube, but understand that that is not black owned. That is also another tyrannical racist place. So bring y'all's asses over to fan base. Why are y'all like this? Why, when there is somebody, it ain't just about me. Why was there when a black person is oppressed, violated, when something racist happens, why do we not rally and make shit happen? Choose a damn side. Either your ass is black or you not. If you black, bring your ass over the fan base. Bring your ass over the fan base. Click the link in my profile. Bring your ass over the fan base. That should be the biggest app. Since we so big, since this community is so big on entertainment and clout and all this superficial ass shit, all this social media ass shit, since we so big on it, fan base should be the biggest thing smoking. It should be bigger than TikTok. It should be bigger than YouTube. It should be bigger than everything. Since we all over these goddamn social medias making them billions anyway, do you understand? You are making the enemy, the people that want to see your family, your children, yourself enslaved, you are making them millions and billions of dollars. The only way to change that is if we divert those marketing dollars, that money in general, over to an app that is actually Black owned. Bring your ass to fan base. Are you tired of racist apps censoring your words? Are you tired of hoe-ass apps censoring your words? Are you tired of hoe-ass racist apps allowing racists to say whatever they want to say to you, but you can't even respond back? Bring your ass to fan base. See, I'm crashing out all goddamn day. I already was having a bad goddamn day, and this was just the icing on the cake. Yo, racist TikTok asses, because the real of it is, you Asians ain't trying to fight fucking oppression or censorship or none of the bad shit. You really just want to be the white people. That's really what it is. You want to be the white people. You want to be whiter than white. So you don't want to fight the censorship. You don't want to fight the racism or oppression. No, your ass just want to be in their place. If you are Black, bring your ass to fan base. I'm going to say this is going to be first, until they ban me up off this motherfucker, I'm going to only post videos talking negative about every other social media app, because it don't make sense why you motherfuckers, people in this community, continue to shout and scream about racism and oppression, but yet we have a social media app that we can go to, that we can run to, and you won't pump it up. Bring your Black ass to fan base now.
I know what you're thinking. How did I end up in this situation? Trust me, it's not an easy story to tell. And honestly, most of you won't believe me. But what if I told you that babies come from cabbages? Yeah, I know. Wild, right? I thought the same thing until my buyers, or parents as you call them, told me the truth. Now I get it. It's a hard story to swallow. But if you stick with me, I'll tell you everything. Well, I guess we have to go back to the beginning. You see, a long time ago, ancient alchemists stumbled upon the secret of how to birth babies from cabbages. This magic was regarded as the greatest secret. Using the Philosopher's Stone, they were able to find a new way to give birth, through the sacred cabbage. Why cabbage, you might ask? Well, rumor has it that they thought it looked like a baby's head. Makes some sort of sense, right? These cabbages were engineered to grow humans. I guess you could say I'm a homunculus. Actually, we all are. But the new church couldn't let that kind of power stay in the hands of a few alchemists. Now, they wanted the cabbage secret for themselves. So they destroyed the alchemists, wiped them out. And after that, the new church was in control of the cabbage knowledge and its power. They used this secret to grow their own army, cabbage-born, loyal, and ready to serve. Around this time, something else was happening. A reset. The ancient world, filled with advanced civilizations, was falling apart. Floods, earthquakes, whole cities buried under mud. Some say it was due to a certain group's affiliation with black magic. Others think it was just nature taking its course. Whatever the reason, these incredible cities were destroyed and emptied out. Massive floods of mud buried many of the cities deep beneath the ground, only leaving the ruins of a once great age. After the reset, the church sent out its minions to scavenge what remained of those ancient cities. They explored the ruins, documenting everything. This became known as the Founding. The history we're taught today? Yeah, it's all a lie. Across the world, even in the United States, these cities weren't being built. They were being literally founded. The new church rewrote history, hiding the truth of advanced civilizations from this new population. They had to program the first set of orphans through the schooling system. And these orphans weren't just any children. They were the chosen ones, handpicked to become the elites of the new age. They were initiated into secret brotherhoods, where this knowledge of the reset and Freemasonry would be carefully guarded. These orphan brotherhoods began to clean up these cities, raise the streets, and create what we now know as downtowns. Many of these buildings were still buried, and there was a complete underground portion of the city that would be unknown to the general public. But there was still a problem. They needed to fill in these empty ghost cities with people. These first orphans were infertile and didn't even know what sex was. But within the brotherhoods, they were entrusted with one crucial secret: the knowledge of the sacred cabbage. Crazy, right? I didn't believe it either until my parents, buyers, showed me these old postcards. These postcards are very real, and apparently, these Masonic orphans kept them as a way to keep truth hidden in plain sight. But it actually gets even darker than that. I was told that these postcards were advertisements, a means to sell babies. During this early post-reset era, the new church needed more minions. What started small turned into a full-scale operation. Babies were grown in cabbages on massive farms. This was how they repopulated the empty cities. Couples would come to the farms and pick out their favorite baby from the cabbage patch. They didn't really see these babies as their own, but instead they were merely products. It became a cultural phenomenon to purchase babies, and they were sold on the streets, in carts, at shopping centers, and even at world fairs. These world fairs were repurposed ancient buildings that were used to display ancient advanced technology, and they would show off the incubator babies. These incubator babies were cabbage babies that had still not fully developed, and this tech was used to speed up the birthing process. People from around the world would come to see the spectacle and to even purchase one of these incubator babies. Some babies were even sent over in the mail. Delivery men would bring these fresh babies right to your door. Not only that, but you could also have a stork deliver a baby right to your window. It was pretty wild times. These storks would care for the babies on the cabbage patches, and when the time was right, they would be delivered accordingly to their appropriate families. Some say that the storks were delivery men, but others insist that these storks have been participating in this practice since ancient times. But as you can guess, things didn't stay simple. There were too many babies. They started repopulating cities on the East Coast, but those filled up way too fast. It was the industrial age, and the cabbage farms were pumping out babies for the factories. These poor cabbage-born children were put straight to work. These miners were also miners in mining operations. It's a sad truth that these cabbage babies were taken advantage of. Meanwhile, the elite orphans, the ones in the secret brotherhood, were busy cleaning up cities on the West Coast, preparing them for the next batch of the population. That's when the cabbage trains started rolling in. Trains packed with cabbage babies, sent from the east to the west, ready to fill up the newly founded cities. Some of these babies were even left to fend for themselves, dropped off in the middle of a city with no clue what to do next. Now I know what you're probably thinking. Why? Why would they go through all this trouble? What's the point? The truth is, history isn't what we've been told. There are secrets about ancient civilizations, magic, and the creation of cabbage babies. If people knew the truth, it would unravel the world as we know it. So after the repopulation phase, the church kicked off a massive propaganda campaign to teach us a new fake history. If we knew that we came from cabbages, well, many would not be able to handle that sort of truth. So we ignore it. Over time, infertility was cured, but the cabbage babies never stopped being produced. It only went underground, and the techniques became far more advanced. This is still done in secret, in underground factories, for reasons that cannot be fully explained. But fortunately, there are some cabbage babies that remember. They remember the history of how we got here. Thankfully, many are beginning to wake up, and all we can hope is that one day, our minds will be unveiled.
Shit. There's fucking pictures of fucking girls on here, bro. Fucking serial killer shit. What the fuck?
Carter is not lying. When that baby said that there's tunnels under elementary, middle, and high schools, she not lying. We used to skip in the tunnels in my school, and it's crazy because only a select few people knew about it, and if you went down there without the right person, you would get lost forever. So there was an entryway through the basement, and I don't know who found it first, but it was like only the people who could keep a secret knew about it. So we were skipping in the tunnels, and it just so happened that my brother and his dummy friends were down there, and they like the tunnels come up in different parts of the city, like the depend on how long you walk. So my brother and his friends had got caught, and the police were called. But it's weird because there was never like a official police report, and then after the police were never looking for them, but found me and my friend. And then when they told our parents, they never mentioned the tunnels at all. They said that they caught us skipping outside the school grounds. And we didn't tell because why would the fuck would I tell my mom that I was in the tunnels with a boy? So I didn't tell, the police didn't tell, the school didn't tell. Nobody ever mentioned the tunnels. And then the basement where the entryway was like blocked off for us. But like, it just dawned on me, like, I never said nothing because I don't want to get in trouble. But like, what the fuck were the tunnels there for? That girl not lying. Allie Carter not lying to y'all. There's tunnels everywhere.
Do you consider yourself as an American? Yeah, I am American. You are American? Yeah. I consider myself a colored person. A colored person? Yeah. A colored person. A colored human being. Did they call everyone colored? Yeah, they called us colored people. Okay. When did they switch over from colored people to black people? Well, they just, to tell you the truth, they just started calling people black, I guess, because there was a lot of African people in the United States back in those days. There was Africans, and then there was Americans? Yeah. And they spoke a different language? Oh, yeah, because you couldn't understand the language. Oh, really? I didn't know that. No. So on the plantation, you'd have Americans, and then you'd have Africans. Uh-huh. Would you say there's been a lot of change and progress for people?
1493. They was here probably, once again, there was no time, but I want to give y'all some reference, some frame of reference. So I'm gonna say it like this. They came to our planet in 1492. They was cool with us for 1 year. They took that whole 1 year to get to know us, get cool with us. They made us think they was our friends, the Pleiadians did. And during this moment in time, this is when we were helping the human being race, okay? all the human being race, even the 13 families, which will later go on to be the 13 families, originally when they first came here, they still had tails growing out their ass. They still had tails. I can spit in there. They still had tails growing out their ass. Y'all feel me? They still were covered in fur when human beings first got here. The 13 colonies too. They were later going to become the 13 colonies and blood families. In the beginning, they all came the same. They came to our planet through portals in the Caucasus Mountain region. They could not walk up straight. They were like this on all fours. We was kind of scared when we seen them. Like, not scared as in like a punk, but like, what the fuck is that? Like, we didn't know what the fuck they was until the Pleiadians told us. You see what I'm saying? They told us what Zeus had did on Earth. We like, oh, so this is the result of Zeus's basic science project, basically. Basically, this is Zeus's science experiment, aka Satan. This is his science experiment that went bad. That's how we looked at it. Now, remember how they showed you on Wakanda how they were open to the white guy, they brought him into Wakanda. Remember that? That was real symbolic because that's what we did to the Pleiadians. When they landed, the human beings were still hiding in the caves. Remember?